what in the world was I thinking? So we'll see. One of these times I'll bite off more than I can chew. Let's hope that's not today.
A few weeks back, Mark contacted me and asked me if I would be interested in covering a 24-hour, 300-mile ride that he was planning on doing. I don't normally cover any rides because rides are hard to cover, right? Unless you're riding in the ride with everybody, it's just really hard to cover a ride. And I would be in a car. I can't do 300 miles right now. I probably couldn't do 20 miles right now. So after some initial thought, I agreed to do it. I wanted a challenge. Mark is doing this 24-hour challenge. So I was like, hey, I'll do my best and try to cover it. So Mark, you're riding a steel bike for 24 hours.
I am. Last Sunday I was with my cycling team, Major Taylor, and I was getting ready to leave, and a group of them were sitting around a table, and they called me over and sat me down and said, okay, this is an intervention, right? We love that you want to do this crazy epic shit ride, but we don't love that you want to do it by yourself. So we're going to help you. And they literally just went around the table and said, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And so all of a sudden it became a thing. And I thought, okay, if all these people are going to come together to support me, this can't be just about my own craziness. It has to be about something bigger. So then I sent Christian Sandoval at Earnabike a note and said, okay, thinking about doing this crazy thing, what if I said I wanted to do it as a fundraiser for Earnabike? He was like, are you kidding? Of course.
You know, Mark devoted this challenge for the Earnabike. I founded the Earnabike 8 years ago, and I never knew it would get to where we are right now.
Next thing I knew, Jenny Maldonado at Earnabike was contacting me.
We help increase access to bicycles to use, and we empower them with the knowledge and skills to make a lifestyle out of cycling.
And within, 10 minutes, she had a site set up, all this like cool stuff and how to donate and whatever. And so I started posting it on Facebook. And I think we did over $1,000 that first Monday. Everybody knows that clean bikes ride better. Clean cars drive better, clean bikes ride better. Well, I think I'm maybe over 9,000 miles this year so far. And I've been trying to do at least 1 century a week, and sometimes I get into 1 week. I think I got in 3. Weekend before last, I did 100 miles on Saturday and 125 on Sunday, just trying to kind of get ready and get prepped for it and kind of know what that feels like. So I've done, as somebody rightly pointed out the other day, I've done 100 centuries, so I'm 10,000 miles of centuries at this point. Because when I'm riding, I can get the other gates open. So wait, if I just crawl into this truck, right? They promised to absolutely positively have me there overnight.
That's right.
How are you, ma'am? Good to see you.
Great to see you.
Right, so somebody I'll be in the shade all night long. It's kind of like when somebody says, "Don't you want to sleep?" I'm like, I'll sleep when I die.
What's the time?
It is 2:59, 30 seconds to go, actually.
I love all y'all.
We love you.
Way more than you know.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So I got hung up at the 1604 traffic jam for a good 40 plus minutes. And by the time I made it to the first stop, you guys were already past the second one.
I'd look up and we'd be 8 people or 9 people.
Right. Yeah, the word's out, right?
So, and at one point we were headed into the wind out of Keehee, headed over to Hondo, and the wind was just terrible. And here comes somebody pulling right over in a pickup in front of us. And so we're 3 abreast and 3 back, this far behind this pickup.
Drafting the pickup.
And
That's
2 women
great.
are riding in the back of it and chatting with us and talking to us, taking selfies and filming
Oh,
us.
that's great, yeah.
Oh my God, it was hilarious.
That love just poured out. And that seems ridiculous to say it that way. It seems trite, but I felt it the whole way. Every step along the way on the ride.
I'm 50 miles in, which unless my math senses are completely gone, means that that's 1/6. And so I have to do this 50 miles 5 more times. I purposely am waiting to eat until like 10, 11, midnight, that kind of stuff, and to give me something to look forward to.
It's been great so far. We've gone, well, I started with him at the rim, so we were at about 48 miles, and we're ahead of schedule. It's been great. The support has been wonderful. Picked up riders along the way. I really think that he's happy, and gee, you did really well.
Till yesterday morning, actually on the event ride, I didn't ride a mile alone.
We're just the pretty girls on the ride, you know?
Amy, complete her first.
I know I didn't help her. She did it.
But she was out there.
She's a bad. Yeah, she was out there. That was the only part that I had to do about it, right? Because she decided that what a badass thing is this. I'm starting 3 o'clock on Friday. She decides somewhere between noon and 3. I think I'm going to do a century today.
I started at the Valera 211 and 471, so I'm doing 120 today.
Century! First century! Hey!
We had a situation where one of my favorite people in the world decided that she wanted to do her first century with us. And the problem is that if we've done the route that I had planned, she would have gotten in, it would have been about 120. So we were fine. We cut out at some, and then we had to kind of find some. So it was good. It all worked out perfectly.
Nye,
Hey.
how did I know you were going to be here?
I don't know, but once I found out you were going to come, I was like, I gotta show up. No, just kidding. No, I wanted to hear about Mark, I know he's got a long journey ahead of him, so I just want to make sure I'm here to be a part of his event, you know what I mean?
So when did you meet up with him?
Right there over in Castroville, right there at 471 and 211, so he started from his place, but yeah, I started right there.
I think the weather has a lot to do with it.
Are y'all going to have the truck again to help out?
I hope so.
Yeah.
Because we are going to hit the wind going to Divine, so.
So I'm in Divine, Texas at 7:15. He was supposed to be here, I think at 8:30 or something like that, but so they already made it here and took off. And he dropped half of that other group that was with him. And that was a ways back, so I don't know where they are. I'm gonna try to leapfrog them one more time. The sun's already getting kind of low, but we're gonna go see if we can't find them. I-35 is right up there, so I'm like right on that side of Divine, but I don't know where he's at. His Garmin may have fell off or something. I went to where his Garmin said he was stopped at. There was nobody there. So unless he's hiding somewhere with his bike. So I don't know where he's at right now. Keep it up, Mark.
Hey, what's up, Billy?
So anyway, I just passed them. I'm gonna hang out here, let them come by me, let some of the traffic get off the road, and then I'm gonna try to swing back by them again. Let's go, keep it up, keep it up. How you feeling, Mark?
Going well.
All right, you think everything's going okay?
Almost 80 miles.
80 miles in. All right. So I didn't get a whole lot of footage overnight. It's just too hard to shoot moving things at night over a 300-mile course. But we're over here at the start of the Willman 100 at Texas Pride Barbecue in Atkins, Texas. So it's like far southeast side San Antonio, but Mark is en route here. I'm watching him on the live track, so he's just literally right up the road up here. And he actually rode like right by my house earlier, but if I was up, I saw it, but I wasn't ready to go. So, but I think this is probably him coming up here. I see a traffic jam, so it might be him. That was Mark, but he kept going. So I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. Yeah, that's been another complication with trying to film this thing. Yeah, I don't know.
I guess he's in a hurry. Glad to be here. This was one of the major milestones that I needed to accomplish, was getting here with approximately the right mileage at approximately the right time.
Why did you guys ride by? You were just trying to get some extra miles?
Well, because somehow or another, I'm not a very good route maker, I guess. So I somehow managed to misapply about 4, 5, 6 miles. So we got to here and I was at like 192. So we rode out and down and around, and so I could at least get, I think I'm at 197 right now. So out on the road today, that means I'll have to go and find another. This is 101. So I'll have to go find an extra. So I'll find a flat spot somewhere and go a mile and come back.
How did he do last night?
Errol and Leo!
Oh, he did great.
What's up?
He's not even tired.
Boy.
He got home, he showered, and he's like, let's go. And I'm like, all right. He did fine.
Buddy.
No,
What time did you catch up with him?
I started in Divine at
I brought the photo.
6:30 or so.
How long are you sleeping tomorrow?
Until I wake up.
How are you feeling?
I'm good. I don't feel bad. I'm done.
You're not doing the 100 today?
No, that's his job. Every year in September, mid-September to late September, check out the website, sanantoniowillman.com. But anyway, we have a charity ride every year. We represent, it's earnabike is our charity. And earnabike is an organization that partners with at-risk elementary school children and set goals for them for the first semester. And in December, if they hit their goals, earnabike gives them a bike and then partners them up with an adult, and they actually build the bike right before Christmas. So it's a great organization. You can look at them online also.
Mark's role is to raise $5,000 to help earn a bike for the children. And what he's doing today, and over the past, over the 24 hours he has been riding, his goal is to complete 300 miles. And during that time, we're asking that people help donate to the fundraiser. Anything that he gets will be matched. So we're excited for him, and he's almost finished, close to 200 miles. So we're super excited. Another 100 to go. Thank you everybody for your donations. Thank you for all the support that you provided over the past 20 or so hours. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
That's my dude, all day long. Do it for Mark, do it for the kids, do it for the cause. Matter of fact, do it for the culture.
Is your name Billy?
Yep.
I like your video. We need your 100. 100. For sure.
27 average, 17 average.
27 average? No.
My dream.
Mark was drafting last night and only hit 25 off a truck, so damn, 27.
And we have a rider with us today who's already ridden, I think, 197 miles. So he's got to find 3 miles somewhere so that he gets to 300. Shouldn't have any problem doing that, Mark. But more importantly, Mark has helped raise Mark, I think is it well over $5,000 now, and then with someone committing to double that, so it's over $10,000. So congratulations to Mark.
They took off. He was a couple of miles short of the 200-mile mark getting here, but at his pace, I bet he's gonna probably take it and have a little bit extra time.
Started with some good hills, ended up flattening out a little bit. We're like almost halfway there, and Natalie's been pulling the whole way.
Have you really?
No. I've been lazy in the back.
you rode a lot yesterday too, though, right?
No, I went to bed early last night. I was trying to prepare for this.
Rub it in. All right, so here's what happened. I was waiting at the rest stop that Mark was gonna hit twice, right? He was supposed to hit it once on the way out to like this big loop, and then once on the way back. It was kind of like just a big circle. He never showed up. I waited past his first check-in all the way to his second check-in, never showed up. Finally, I got a signal on my phone to look at his, his live tracker, and he had went off and did something different. I don't know why. I didn't talk to him. I've been trying not to call or text him because he's, probably not paying attention, and I don't want to distract him anymore. But
it's a dynamic that happens sometimes on a group ride. I got between groups of people and ended up solo, and I was solo at from 220 to about 60 miles or so, maybe. So that 30 miles was the worst. It was starting to get hot. I was doing the math. My average speed was just falling like a rock. There were no climbs on that route, but I don't know, there were a couple little hills, and every time I'd hit those hills, my legs would just go, no, dude, no, dude. Well, we've already been rolling 230 miles here. And it was funny because when I sat down and looked at the route plan initially, I really thought that the dark part, the night part, was going to be the rough part. And it wasn't, because of all my friends. And in fact, it was the best part, because we rolled, we talked, we looked at a beautiful moon. We just, nobody who doesn't cycle will get this, but we just loved on each other for hours, riding along in the deep dark night. But that segment, it was the worst. And in fact, I at one point decided that I wasn't going to make the time cut. And then I got in a really bad place, because then I started thinking about all the people that have, supported this and been a part of it. And I thought, how am I going to handle this? And so when you're cycling, you got nothing. So I'm spending like an hour with myself in my feelings, thinking about how am I going to handle not making this time cutoff after all this hype.
I had planned to do the 26-mile ride, but then the friend I was going to ride with ended up hurting her leg. So we just decided to stay there and just wait.
I texted G, and I said, G, I don't think I'm going to make the cutoff.
But while I was waiting, there comes this lady, I didn't know her, and she was telling Mark's almost here, but he still needs to put in like 40 miles. And I immediately thought, oh my goodness, he still got 40 miles to go. It was like an 85 degree. And I've been in that situation where you're almost there, you're almost done, and you feel like crap. At this point, Mark had ridden 260 miles, and I just couldn't imagine what he was feeling.
G texted me back and said, hold on. That came in about 30 seconds later. And then about, I don't know, maybe 2 minutes later, this text came on and said, the fam is on the way. And I just started crying. I couldn't help it. I was ridiculous. My eyes were running everywhere, and I was riding down the road and trying to see. Oh, it was terrible.
So I said, okay, this is my opportunity. Asked a friend, and I told them, look, go drop me off wherever he is. I'm gonna just try to be there. So we go in, he had a little Toyota Tercel. We put my bike in the back of his car, you know, all the bike's all jacked up on the top. And we get there, right? And then we find him and see him and said, okay, just get a little bit ahead of him. We're gonna get in front of him, right? So we get in front, we kind of make an immediate left turn, we swerve, we go in. And then you can imagine this guy, you know, hairy guy with his helmet gets off the car, I get off the car, and we're just like scrambling, like if it was like a NASCAR race pit stop. I get my bike out and I'm looking at it, and then Mark just looks at me like,
they roll up in this little car, oncoming. They screech to a halt, and these two dudes like jump, I mean, like before the car has even like stopped rolling, the doors come open and these two dudes jump out. And I thought, what's happening here? Am I about to get mugged or something right out here on the road? Because you know, when you ride solo, things happen.
Get off the car, I get off my bike, I get on my bike, put on my helmet, and just start riding, trying to catch up with him. The guy, an engine, he was going around 19 miles per hour. And the funny thing is, I hadn't checked up my bike. So I had 40 pounds in the back, I had like 60 in the front, my seat was tilted, and my legs were starting to feel the whole thing, just trying to catch up with him. And I was thinking like, how am I gonna keep up with this animal who's riding already 260 and he's going 19 miles per hour. I try to catch up, my lungs are burning, and I just say like, chill, let's go. Why are you here? Just endure it, we're gonna get done.
And then I realized it's Christian, and he jumps over and gets his bike off the rack, throws his bike down, puts his helmet on, and here we go. And he chases me down and gets up in front of me. And so then he pulls me.
I could hear in his voice that he was just, you know, happy to see someone. You know, and that really meant a lot to me. I didn't know what my purpose for yesterday was until I got there and I was riding with him.
So now I'm starting to process, because I'm starting to get really thirsty, and I start feeling myself getting pretty dehydrated. It's getting hot. So I'm thinking, okay, what am I gonna do here? And literally, at that second, my friend Kiki rolls up, and I'm like, Kiki, do you have some water? No, I don't, but hang on, let me Google, and because Samoa's gonna take it, Kiki's gonna Google and find the nearest store and go get water and bring it back. And then I look up and I turn around, and there's G Carter jumping out of her car with water bottles, because she knows, I don't know how she knows, here she comes running up the road with water bottles. And then I look up and there's Dre on his bike, all kitted out on he's brought his bike. Like, well, all right, let's go then. And I thought that was like the pinnacle. Then we roll down the road, I don't know, maybe 2 more miles, and there's this truck on the side of the road, and I think, that looks like James Johnson's truck, that looks like JJ's truck. And we roll up there, and I see his wife, and I think, she's come out to cheer us on. Well, then here comes JJ around the back of the truck, pulling his bike out, and he's all kitted up. I'm like, oh, all right. And so then he just jumps on and chases us down, because he doesn't want to stop us, right? And so he gets on. And so then we roll, and Christian's still with us. So it's Christian, Dre, me, and Kiki's in front of us, letting us draft. So then we get to New Berlin, which is like the halfway point. And there's a little barbecue place there called Rabel's. And we were saying, okay, well, let's stop at Rabel's and we'll get more water, because, you know, I'm drinking water like a camel in the desert, just trying to, every little bit I can get in my body. So let's stop there and we'll get some water. And I didn't even know it, but they had already planned this whole thing out. And I'm going to get water and fill my bottles up, and I come back out, and here is my whole night crew that had just ridden with me from the night before, and they just rolled up like to be out in the middle of the back of nowhere at 1 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon and go for a ride is just what they were going to do.
early on, before Mark even started on his epic ride, I asked him, I was like, well, what are you planning on thinking about during those moments when it starts to get hard? And one of the things that he told me was he wanted to kind of stay in the moment as much as possible. So whenever I did get to see him at these short rest stops, or, if I was passing him on the side of the road or whatever, I would always yell out at him, like, hey, where's your mind at? What are you thinking?
Do you feel like you're in the moment? All the time.
2 hours after Mark finishes his ride, Best Cross is due to start, and I was planning on covering it. So I had to rush from Texas Pride Barbecue back over to the northeast side, offload all of my media, charge what batteries I could, and get over to Best Cross. And when I put the media in for the finale of Mark's 24-hour ride, I saw that it ended with 56 clips. I checked and made sure there was 56 clips in there. I put my card back in the camera, I formatted the card, and then I went back to kind of review some footage just to kind of see what the shots were looking like once everything was on the charge, and noticed that I didn't have anything from the end of the ride. So this clip right here is the last thing I recorded. So I don't know what happened. I don't know if the files did record, because I reviewed one of them while I was out there with Christian, and don't know what happened. I don't know if the files were corrupted, or if maybe I didn't bring them all in. I don't know. They're gone. So with Mark wanting to live in the moment, some of that stuff, unfortunately, now he's going to have to live in the moment on. I just want to talk about how closely the Major Taylor Cycling Club is, and how helpful and like how much of a family they really are. So not only did they help Mark finish this epic ride, but they also came together for me to help me with some footage to finish telling his story. And like, I still haven't told Mark yet that I lost all of his footage. I'm about to tell him in person. Not the kind of thing you want to text somebody and tell him. So I'm gonna tell him here. If he punches me out, you see me with a black eye, I probably deserve it.
Who you waiting for, girl? Waiting for my love dumpling, my handsome little love dumpling, Mr. Epic. Woohoo! Good Mark. Yay! 6,053. Yes! Yes! Hey, $6,053. Hey, are you taking me, taking you? There he is! Yes! Yes! Mark! Marky Mark!
And in all this effort, we were able to raise $12,000 thanks to what he did and the work of the Wheelman 100, that I was just touched. It just, everything at that moment came through. The Wheelman is one of the best organizations out there to teach you road cycling. Luckily, they stuck with us. They like what we do. And the other thing is that also their teams and their members help us for the earnabike for Christmas, also providing volunteers so we can help build the bikes for the kids. And that relationship has been maturing. Every year it's gotten better. we've been able to raise more money. It's been growing, and the event is growing, and the more that the event grows, the more that funds that go to the organization then puts this in bikes that goes to kids. So we're just extremely blessed for that partnership.
You've been the heart of this whole thing. Other people help, but you were
I just rode my bike.
But you were the one on the bike. It was your
That's
idea.
all I did.
And we all knew you were crazy enough to do it. So that's why we all
Well, no,
support.
okay. It was my idea to jump on the bike and ride 300 miles. It was G. Carter and a bunch of other people's idea to make it a thing and make it epic. For me, it was just going to be riding my bike. And so they're the ones who deserve the credit for putting the heart in it. So as it turns out, my birthday is on Saturday, so I've invited, I don't know, several thousand of my closest friends to come and meet me at Rolling Oaks Mall and ride with me up to New Braunfels for the first day of the MS 150 ride.